Ready to do some review for language? Here we go. Both Mia and Lewis were on the bus this morning. Does that make sense? Yes, they were on the bus because Mia and Lewis are a plural subject, so we need a plural verb. There hasn't been no snow so far this winter. Too many negatives in that sentence. So we should have said there hasn't been any snow so far this winter. Here is my coat and my gloves. We're talking about two different things, our coat and our gloves. So that's plural, so we would say here are my coat and my gloves. If we were just talking about your coat, one coat, you could say here is my coat. But when you're talking about more than one thing, you need to say here are my coat and my gloves. This 4th grade class are the best class in this school. Well, I'm only talking about one class, so I need to have a singular verb. So I needed to say is the best class. All right, now, let's see. I am going to show you a list of words. There, your, it's. And you're going to tell me which word I should use in this sentence. Wait, you forgot your lunch. Which your would I use? I would use this your, right? Because this your talks about something possessive. Your lunch. It's almost time for music class. Which it's would I use? I would use the contraction. I could not think of the word. Contraction, because I would be able to say, it is almost time for music class. Do you know that you're standing on my toe? There would be this contraction, because I could say, do you know that you are standing on my toe? Our dog has chewed its new toy. That would be this it's, because it's talking about a possessive thing, that it's toy. Do you see that chipmunk over there? So we're showing position, so we would use this there right here. I think I left my backpack in their car. So we need to use this possessive there. Your uncle is my new Sunday school teacher. Your uncle. Not you are uncle, your uncle. There is a new student in our class. So again, we would use this there. Okay? So you need to know these for your test. Right? If you need to look back in your book to study, then that would be a good thing to do. Next thing we're going to do is fix these sentences. I have a lot of things that I need to fix in these sentences. Lots of punctuation and capitalization. First one, Tyler wondered, will we have dinner soon? That's what my kids are always wondering. So first thing that I need to fix is Tyler should be capitalized. And Tyler wondered. Now this would be like a direct quotation. Because even if he's just thinking it, he's still saying it in his mind. Tyler wondered, comma, quotation mark. Okay, so I'm inserting. And then we capitalize the first word in a direct quotation. Will we have dinner soon? Now that's a question, right? So question mark, quotation marks. Okay. Next one. Would you set the table? Asked Mom. So Mom is asking this sentence. So we would put quotation marks, capitalize would. Would you set the table? That's a question. So question mark, quotation mark, asked Mom. Mom is capitalized. That's a proper noun. Period. Next one. Emma offered, I will help you. Hopefully you say that to your mom and dad. I will help you. So Emma, capitalized, offered, comma, quotation mark, because this is where she starts her direct quotation. I is capitalized, will help you. We could even, let's do this. Let's do an exclamation mark with quotation marks, because she's saying it excitedly. And then the last one, this spaghetti is great, said the children. So this is where we would put direct quotation marks, capitalize, this spaghetti is great, exclamation mark, quotation marks, said the children, period. All right, so that's a good review for punctuation, capitalization. So you'll see on your chart, this is Micah's chart, that for some reason I wrote pages 289 for today. But we already did that on Monday, so we're not going to go over that again. But perhaps what I was thinking was that this was a good review page for what will be on your test. Okay, so you want to be sure to look at the Take 5s in the back of your book, because those are a good review of things that we've been learning. So language kind of just builds on each other. You can't say, well, we're going to just be tested on this, or tested on this, or tested on this. It builds. So once you learn something, you kind of have to keep it in there in order for you to learn something else. It builds on that, and then something else builds on that. So it's good to just refresh your memory over just every little thing that we've been learning. All right, page 80. Page 80. So, we are going to review proofreader's marks, and we're going to insert missing punctuation. So, American alligators live in swamps, comma, but they also live near other bodies of water, period. Alligators can be found in, now it's going to give us a series of words, rivers, comma, to insert a comma, lakes, comma, and ponds, period. That's the end of our sentence. Female alligators can be 10 feet long, comma, but male alligators can reach 15 feet in length, period. So anytime you have the word but in a sentence and it's connecting two sentences together, you put a comma before the word but. How many alligators live in Everglades National Park? Now that's a question, so you need to put a question mark. All right, think B. Place a check next to each contraction that is spelled correctly. So number 1, is that spelled correctly? Now remember, where a contraction is two words put together, and wherever the apostrophe is, there's missing letters there. So they are, there's a missing A right there. That's why they put the apostrophe. You are, there's a missing A. And then it is, there's a missing I right there. So that should help you determine whether that number 1 is correct, because the apostrophe is in the wrong place. So number 1 is wrong. Number 2, I'm is correct, so put a check mark. Number 3 is incorrect. Number 4 is incorrect. It's supposed to be a contraction, so if it doesn't have a apostrophe, it's not a contraction. Number 5, wilt, that's not a contraction, so that's incorrect. Number 6, weave, yes, that is correct. Number 7, won't, that is correct. Number 8, couldn't, they're close, but it's wrong because the apostrophe goes between the N and the T because there's a missing O there. And number 9, Sheol is correct. All right, proof C. We are going to, for each sentence, write C if the capitalization and punctuation are correct. Write I if they are incorrect. Use proofreader's marks to correct each error. Number 1, can you quote Isaiah 53, 1 through 6? That is correct. Number 2, Columbus discovered America on Friday, October 12th, 1492. That is incorrect because we need to insert what? A comma after Friday. Number 3, the 4th of July is my favorite summer holiday. That is correct. Number 4, the 20th President of the United States was Mr. James A. Garfield. That's incorrect because A is an initial, so you need to put a period after A in his name. Number 5, I attend Randall Christian School in Durham, New Hampshire. That is correct. Number 6, my parents got married on Saturday, July 26th, 2003. Okay, now this is incorrect because they put a comma after July, but that's unnecessary, so you need to delete that comma. Number 7, Vasco de Balboa first saw the Pacific Ocean in 1517. That is incorrect. Why? Because ocean should be capitalized. Now, if it just said ocean, that's common, but when you say Pacific Ocean, that is proper, so we need to capitalize. All right, think D. Underline the subject once and then underline the correct verb in parentheses twice. In the blank, write sing if the subject and verb are singular. Write PL if the subject and verb are plural. Number 1, Jesus visit a home in Capernaum. So number 1, Jesus is your subject, and 1, Jesus, so we need a singular verb, visits, and I just told you that it's singular, so sing in the blank. Number 2, many people, crowd into the home to see him. So our subject would be people, and people is plural, so we need a plural verb, crowd. So those are plural. Number 3, a paralyzed man cannot get into the home. So our subject is man. Man can get. And that is a singular subject and verb. So notice cannot, that's part of the verb, but the not is not part of the verb. Okay. Number 4, the men take apart the roof and lower their friend to the floor. Does this sound familiar? So our subject is men, and this verb is take. So when you have men, that is plural. Number 5, Jesus heal him and forgives his sins. So Jesus is our subject. Jesus heals, and that is singular. So then you're going to write an exclamatory sentence using the contraction for it is. So you're going to write a sentence using it's right here. You need to be able to replace it with it is. If it doesn't make sense, if you can't put it is in, then it's a wrong sentence. Okay, page 81. You can go back and do that sentence. I'm going to go finish this up with you, okay? So we're going to mark our sentence and then diagram the subject and verb. Number 1, some alligators weigh over 1,000 pounds. So we need to divide our sentence after the subject. So alligators is our subject. So we're going to divide after alligators. Our verb is weigh. So one subject, one verb. So alligators weigh. Okay. Number 2. Alligators can have up to 80 teeth and can run up to 20 miles per hour. So again, alligators is our subject, so we divide after alligators. And the rest of our sentence is our predicate. Now, be careful, what's our verb? Can have and also can run. Don't miss the second verb in there. So we have one subject, 2 verbs. Okay, so we need to diagram like this. So go ahead, diagram your subject and your 2 verbs. Okay, so you should have this. Alligators can have, can run. Number 3, find a book about alligators at the library and learn more. What kind of a sentence is this? This is imperative. It's giving a command. So what's the subject of an imperative sentence? You. So what we need to do is write in, okay, so you have find a book. I'm not going to write the whole sentence. Okay, find a book. So you is your subject. You find a book. So what are our verbs? Find, learn. There's also 2 verbs in that sentence. So go ahead, diagram your 1 subject and your 2 verbs. Right, so you should have like this. You, in parentheses, find, learn. All right, think G. Use the answer to each clue to complete the verse. So, number 1, the singular form of the 4th noun. In spelling, students learn the definition of new words. Okay, so in that sentence, what's the 4th noun? 1, 2. Right, the 4th noun is words, but we only want to do the singular, so that would be word. So that goes up in your blank. Number 2, the second word of the verb phrase. Okay, so the verb phrase is has spoken. So that second word is spoken. So fill in the next blank with spoken. Number 3, the helping verb. So each member of my family is taking a sign language class. What is the helping verb? Is. So put is up in your blank. Number 4, the 4th noun of this sentence. Each fall, the Harringtons travel to the Northwest to pick apples on a large farm in Washington. So count your nouns. Which one is the 4th noun? The answer is apples. So put apples up in your blank for number 4. Number 5, the 3rd noun is gold. Crowds surged to the west searching for gold in 1849. And then number 6, the plural form of the subject. A beautiful picture has hung above our fireplace for years. So the subject is picture, and what's the plural of picture? Pictures. So let's read Proverbs 25:11 together. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. That is a good way to end our language class.